Our first story, Kevin.
How about that?
Dun, dun,
It's a
dun.
hell of a transition there.
So ready.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
Sorry. Just, sorry.
I was gonna
Megan
ask
saying
people
he's
about their
so
holidays.
ready has like a whole...
Other.
It has an entirely different connotation than what people would expect, just because of. Never mind.
yeah.
And then there's a listener mail I have later of someone complaining about the younger hosts changing the show, and I'm definitely playing into their complaints this evening.
So,
yeah.
Kevin.
So Kevin, what were you saying about our first story?
Well, an Indian baby was born with 3 hands and is being
it
worshipped as a god. Right?
Oh, this
Okay.
sounds...
I have so many questions, but continue.
I do. It's so sad when the story sounds like a racist right-wing forward email you get from your grandma.
Yep.
Sorry.
I
continue.
have so many anatomical questions, but continue.
I think it's out of like the it's out of like the right armpit, basically.
Oh, so is it something to do with what's the one with the 100 arms?
Oh man.
No, we're not gonna
Nope.
try.
Can't remember. I'm gonna butcher this though.
Okay.
Radhika Sahu. Damn it.
Pikachu.
I'm
It's
sorry,
fine.
guys.
Yeah, you're
Gave
good.
birth to an infant in November, only to see an extra hand growing out of the girl's chest. An operation should be able to remove the hand without doing any further damage to the body. However, this is India, and a lot of their gods have extra body.
Yep. Superstition.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's... Oh, no. It's the Kali. I was trying to remember because it's not Brahman.
Oh, that's right.
It's not Vishnu. It's not Ganesh. It's Kali.
At the very least, it's Kali. I think
Yeah.
there are more.
I think there's more
but
than one.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, there's definitely more than one.
Well, I know that there's one with a bunch of eyes.
Is there?
Either a bunch of eyes or a bunch of vaginas. Either way.
I'm not familiar with that one.
We're not sharing dreams right now. All right,
No, this was not a dream. Continue.
Okay.
Well, I mean, really, that's
All right, sorry. Kevin, continue with
line.
the story of the child born with an easily surgically correctable
Birth defect.
I was going to say, sort of genetic mutation birth defect that isn't being
no, it is not. It is not being
surgically
I
corrected.
think, and I don't want to get into any type of ableism type stuff, but if it is seen as a problem by the family and also by the young girl, I think that they should have a surgery as long as it is safe. But
Yeah.
I don't think that is going to be encouraged because I don't think that they're going to allow that. Which is which is unfortunate.
Do you have more to the article, or was that kind of the gist of it?
That was really the gist.
That's the gist of it.
I just wanted to kind of talk about the
implications.
The implications of if this had happened somewhere else, they would be allowed to think for themselves and make a decision.
Well, they would be
informed decision
encouraged,
for
actually.
So wait, sorry, this is being not allowed by the government of India, like the community?
No.
Probably being encouraged by the community to not have it corrected and to worship the child.
Her local community is basically kind of seeing her as
She's a demigod.
Yeah.
No, excuse me, demigoddess.
Okay.
Well, I think they were worshiping her as a god. They've got the multiple god
hands.
situation.
Are gods gendered? They are
Some.
in some polytheistic religions.
Some and some polytheistic religions have more than just male and female genders, and that gets into a whole nother.
I know the Abrahamic God isn't. To some people, isn't necessarily gendered, and to some other people, he's definitely male.
Yeah,
it just kind of depends.
I mean, he
on who
definitely
you're talking to.
And he's definitely white.
Yeah, definitely white. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
That one I learned
he knocked
from my
up
grandma.
Mary, so I don't know what you're talking about. But
But yeah, I mean, it kind of saddens me that they are not going to have the option of making an informed decision here.
look, so like the Supreme Court, as part of one of the things that it recognized under what was originally the penumbra of, you know, privacy and personal decision making, under which abortion falls, but has later been there's a whole legal history there. It is included the right to raise your child the way that you see fit.
Which has led to some interesting decisions, but yes.
But that's kind of a more widespread, almost universal sort of acknowledgement of, oh, okay, there's, you know, our society has accepted this as the parentage, right? There's some societies where
basically
it's
your
not
child is your
mother-father.
property until age X.
All right, I might disagree with your language there, but basically, is in your
Property, yes.
charge and care.
Yeah, there you go.
All right,
Like a house.
Or any other thing.
okay.
Or a third
that's-
hand.
But in terms of the relationship between a citizen and the state,
Yeah.
generally people, when it comes to the raising of children, see that not as the role of the state and as the role
Of the parent.
Right.
of the parent's one parent's
Guardian.
family, guardian, only uncles because they're the best. Yes, I am. That sort of thing. And so, I don't know.
I'm the
That's
best
the part
auntie
of
if
this.
we're going up on that.
All right. Well, that's the part of this story that bothers me, I think, the most is just fuck off. However, as I say that, I have to recognize that there are times when I think about all of the kids whose parents are, you know, faith healing
Shit.
believer
Yeah,
shit
absolutely.
at being
And
parents. And it's
this-
sort of,
This is the case where
It is collectively agreed that the parents
social
are
community.
shit.
Yeah.
well, yeah, but I mean, it's sort of like, what is the standard, right? Like, I understand why these people that believe that there are many gods think that you shouldn't fuck with God or whatever. Their epistemology and conclusions are unjustified, and their inhumane conclusions I find unacceptable. However, that being set aside for a second, because our audience is almost entirely atheists,
Right.
the question of when can either just the local community, you know, be up in arms about something versus, you know, when can the state step in
Right.
is a sort of more interesting question.
Well,
Well-
the community can be up in arms about anything.
Well, but when
And
is,
At any time.
Often
when is it
is.
justifiably up in arms?
Well,
right?
that is the question, isn't it?
Because that's sort of the question that I'm asking to prompt a conversation.
Ah, yes.
Because, like in the United States, it used to be entirely unacceptable for you to be a bastard. Not just your
Yeah.
parents are unacceptable, but you're unacceptable. Your face, ugh, get out of here.
Well, it's funny. That was only the case because the community were such assholes to bastards.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
Yeah.
like, we still use bastard
And
as an
because we
insult.
have the
As
whole
an
monogamy
epithet,
thing.
Yeah.
Shout out to secular sexuality. Poly.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to have a bastard because we're going to be assholes to it.
Yeah. And that falls
kind of a
in line
weird-
from the
To
Catholic
them,
Church, but that's
I mean,
a whole
I don't mean
other
to be
thing.
that guy, but I know that children are like kind of not really the same as adult people, really. They're sort of forming still, but they are like humans, technically.
Actually, we don't stop forming until we're in our 20s. So,
Yeah, Jamie.
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't, okay.
so I have a question for you, Kevin.
Yeah.
This article, does it say where the parents fall on this like spectrum of wanting it or not wanting it?
As far as we know,
I don't think you're gonna,
nothing's being done.
Okay.
I don't think you're going to get an honest answer if the
From the
community has a very strong opinion. Even expressing,
Yeah, if your
The opposite
neighbors, if
opinion.
your neighbors and people from neighboring villages are coming by to
They're
worship
sticking their
your
heads out the
daughter,
window trying to listen to you
or-
talk to
yeah.
reporters.
Maybe they just want to gawk at your daughter. Maybe they don't want to actually worship
Touch her?
and think that she
Oh.
has some kind of power. I mean, you're not likely to do what may be best for your daughter because maybe we don't know as of yet whether or not this
Well,
deformity is going to be detrimental to her health.
and I think it's important to remember, especially with younger parents, I mean, older parents too, but especially younger parents, they don't know what the hell they're doing. And so they take advice from anyone who will give it to them.
Yeah.
And if this is the kind of advice that they're getting, they are in a very sticky situation.
Well, what I will say is it's easy to say, oh, younger parents don't know, but most
parents.
people don't know most
Things.
Yeah, there's not really a guidebook.
Most of the things about the things that they try and do, right? Like no one, string theory, whatever. But no, it's just most people don't understand string theory or quantum mechanics. Right. And if you think you do, you're wrong. But like parenting, it's like, oh, it's this common thing. Oh, it's fine. It's
everybody
like raising
knows.
a dog. Like, no, it's not.
What's the scale? The more you think you know, the less you actually know.
Yeah.
I think so. There's I suppose.
There's a name to it.
You're thinking of the Dunning-Kruger effect?
Yes.
So what's interesting is the bottom 80% suffer from the like negative effect of I think I know more than I do in the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's not 50-50. It's the bottom 80% go, oh yeah, no, I know about this. So, you just, you're not supposed to beat your child, but you just hit him a little bit with a ruler and that's fine, right?
Smack them when they walk into the road without looking. I mean, what harm could it do?
A lot psychologically to a child. Megan, how dare
That
you
was
sincerely suggest
rhetorical.
such a thing?
Although in that situation, the car's going to do more damage. I'm just saying.
So, back to the third hand poking out of the chest.
There are other options. It's
just not a good idea to use your child as a prop. I mean, it's like...
Yeah. And what worries me is what is this child going to grow up thinking about herself or himself, depending on how they identify later.
That is interesting. If if their entire community and surrounding communities are treating her as a deity,
something
that's going to be
very special.
Yeah.
That would be a weird upbringing.
Especially once unless it continues into her adulthood, I hate to think about the rock bottom she's going to hit when all that attention goes away.
I don't think she's going to have any real world tools.
Yeah.
To deal with and navigate the world that she's
the real
growing
world.
up in. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I will say is, even if it is continued, like a person who is worshipped as a god from the time goddess, as a deity from the time of youth, that has a psychological effect, right? Like humans continue to develop, I think, physically, towards a peak in physical abilities in their mid-20s, 30s, whatever, and then down there. But like psychologically and physically and, their personalities, our personalities continue to develop throughout life. So,
I mean, you make your most formative...
I think if at any point in
memories,
time,
when you're young, but
between
there are
7 and
plenty of
13,
grown-ups who have grown an ego past the age of 35. I mean,
well, true.
I'm saying
depends
it's
on
still
what you mean by
possible.
that.
I'm saying like the idea of being special and the idea of being some sort of demigoddess could be
Kanye.
be there. Could be there now as she's so little, or could be instilled when she's an adult. I'm saying being instilled as a child is so much harder to deal with than having your dreams crushed after you've grown. You started growing an ego at 35 and had it crushed when you're 60. It's more difficult to deal with that crushing effect if you've been thinking that you're a demigoddess since you were born.
Yeah. I don't mean to be technical. I think it's goddess, but yes, I agree with you.
I said goddess.
I think you said demigoddess.
I said demigoddess.
It's goddess.
Whatever.
That's not the important part. The psychological damage to a child is the important part here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who does technically qualify as humans. I'm going to continue to drive that point home, even though I think I am in the solid minority amongst my co-hosts here.
Who's the human?
What? This human.
Yes, she's a human.
This human youth.
We all believe that
sure.
she's a human.
Now
Fuck
you
are you
agree.
talking about?
Whatever. As a person, you were referencing them not being.
No, I was saying in the way that people view her. Not what she
All right,
is.
we'll return to me being right about that thing and you guys hedging in a second. But no, what I will say is, yes, it is, right? In the same way that like the early development of a human is more critical, right? Like small things have larger impacts throughout the rest of your life, right? Like there's a reason that there's a drinking age, because if you have, you know, a drink of vodka or whatever when you're a youth, that has a larger impact on your development. The same is true for psychological things. Yeah. And I think being worshipped as a god at any point in your life
will turn some heads.
Yeah, will turn your head right round. So
baby right
there's
round.
that.
Like a
Sorry, I was sitting right there.
All right, okay. And now that I've derailed it by referencing a thing.
Yeah. I mean, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. Okay.
Yeah.
That was it. All right. Thank you for that story,
Little
Kevin.
Indian girl with a third hand sticking out of her chest is being worshipped by the community as a god.
I hope that whatever does happen, it is what is in her best interest.
For sure. We know it won't be.
I have my doubts.
But we hope.
Yeah, I have my doubts given, you know, the circumstances, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that being worshipped as a god is not in her best interest, which has implications for hereditary monarchy if you know you're going to be king from age 7.
Yeah, and I think having a hand growing out of your armpit might...
I think it was out of her chest.
Well, I saw the picture. It was really more the armpit.
Oh, you saw a picture?
Region, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well,
still,
I don't know. It is technically the torso.
I feel like that could be an impediment in a lot of situations.
I was
like if you're trying to put your arm down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We both did a little gesture.
Like a 5-finger chest burst.
We both did a little half chicken there.
Yeah.
I mean, I can do the full like T-Rex if you want.
No, it's I don't know. Dennis, we've been bantering back and forth.
Yes.
What do you think?
About the story? About what?
No, about the story about a little girl being worshipped as a goddess.
Well, probably a bad thing for the kid. I mean, I can't imagine that not having an effect on the child's development.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
going to have unrealistic expectations.
On that agreed but sad note,
I think my main point is their religion is destroying any opportunity for an informed decision.
Well, I think that's most religions because they're not about information or learning. Just a little tidbit at the end there.